Hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play the Dagger of Amon. Last time we finished up our conversations at the party. We took a look at the daggers in the museum shop and found something interesting, and then came in here and found Dr. Pippin Carter murdered by a replica of the dagger which he himself discovered. Let's take a look.
Dr. Carter's flesh is looking rather pale, as if he's not feeling well. Perhaps it's because he's lost a lot of blood.
That would do it. That definitely would do it.
Dr. Carter seems to have suffered a severe trauma to his chest area. A red fluid appears to be leaking out of Dr. Carter's chest wound.
A red fluid, I wonder what it is. Come on, game.
Pippin's pants are neatly pressed, but there are streaks of blood and a damp stain. There's a slight bulge in Pippin's jacket, as if he's carrying something in an inside pocket.
Ooh, let's check that out.
When you reach into Pippin's tuxedo jacket, you find a notepad in his inner pocket.
Alright, let's take it. Let's take a look.
A notepad made of good quality paper. There's an imprint on the paper from the previous message written on the pad, but it's too faint to read.
We're gonna need to find a way to read that.
Unreadable words are imprinted on the paper.
Alright, that didn't help, so let's
You
just
pick
take
it up and place it in your purse.
Let's see, what else can we look at?
His mouth is gaping wide, showing you some fine dental work. This was a man who took pride in the appearance of his teeth. Pippin's ear is unharmed. Perhaps for the first time in his life, Dr. Carter's hair is in disarray.
And if we take out the magnifying glass?
A close look at the dagger reveals the words, "Made in Pittsburgh," stamped on the part of the blade that is not buried in Pippin Carter's chest. To your naked eye, the rough surface of the dagger handle doesn't appear to hold any fingerprints, but that's something for the coroner to examine in detail.
Yeah, because unlike Colonel's Bequest, there are actual police available here, so we won't have to worry about dealing with this too much, but might as well.
From the smell of the damp stain, it appears that Dr. Carter was quite surprised by the stabbing. Although there are a couple of breadcrumbs caught in his mustache, they don't seem to be significant as evidence, particularly since you saw him eating bread at the party.
You can get some funny responses by checking things out.
No cavities in his teeth. The tongue is arched as if to say, You're not sure if the gaping mouth means he was trying to scream, or that rigor mortis is setting in, stretching his face muscles. However, he has only been here a short time. Pippin isn't breathing, but you detect the smell of garlic on his breath. It isn't a pleasant smell.
They just creeps me out so much.
A close look reveals that Pippin kept his ears very clean. His hair is a bit greasy, as if he hasn't washed it today. It has a slight smell of cigarette smoke, which is probably from the party.
Ew. You can also touch everything.
His mouth and tongue feel dry. His mustache feels stiff. You poke Pippin's right eye. A tear trickles down his cheek. You poke him in the eye. His eyeball feels squishy. Pippin has a glazed expression in his right eye, staring off into eternity.
See how much
At
detail
least he faced his death with his eyes open.
even each eye has its own
From the
little
look
thing.
in his eye, it appears that Dr. Carter was surprised to find a dagger being inserted in his chest. His right eye is somewhat bloodshot, as if he's been working long hours recently in preparing the ancient Egypt exhibit for public display. The pupil is very small, which is either a reaction to bright light or to a sudden shock of some kind.
Might have been the dagger. And one more thing before I go.
That would be highly improper, Laura.
Alright, yeah, most of that stuff I did was just pointless, but it's still fun to do. Alright, let's get out of here. And there's Detective O'Reilly.
You scream like a banshee, lass. Did you kill the man then?
No, I just walked in here and found him.
I suppose that would explain your screaming then.
Yeah,
Did you see the murderer?
No.
All right, I'll talk to you later after you've had a chance to calm down. Just don't try to leave the building.
And thus ends Act 2. And we begin the longest chapter in the game, Act 3. On the cutting edge. The significance of that will become plain
Excellent
enough.
work.
Enough.
Your father would be proud of you.
See, that's what I get for talking to everybody.
Having already interrogated the guests, Detective O'Reilly is now discussing the murder with the staff members as they leave the party. It would be best if you don't interfere.
Yeah, it would actually be at this point where if you're playing the original version, they would ask you a question that you can only find in the manual, so more copyright protection. Taking everyone's name and information. And who's this fellow?
Hi, Miss Bowe. I'm Ernie Leach. Dr. Carrington told me you could stay a while and talk to the staff. I've got to lock the doors, so just come and find me when you're ready to leave. Dr. C also has a key, but you don't want to bother him about that.
Thank you, Mr. Leach.
Just be careful where you go. Wolf will get upset if he finds you downstairs.
Yeah.
See you later.
So he's the one person we haven't met yet, but there he is.
Did you manage to learn anything from your interviews, Detective O'Reilly?
We'll question him later.
Don't bother your little head about it, lass.
It's my job, sir.
This is an official murder investigation, Miss Bowe. Do not be interfering.
Oh, I don't mean to interfere. I just want to know what's going on. Any leads so far?
Dr. Carter died as the result of someone sticking a gift shop dagger in his chest. What more do you need to know?
Well, for one thing, who did it?
Someone who didn't like him. That's my guess.
Yeah, same here.
Brilliant deduction.
If you think that you can do better.
I can try.
Oh, wunderbar. Now we've got the amateurs involved.
I may not be a detective, but I'm terribly clever. I've solved murders before.
Just stay out of me way, lass, and don't destroy the evidence.
Certainly not.
Yeah. Humph.
Yeah, we've done this rodeo before. Let's see, are they still there? No. Yeah, Wolf Heimlich, he's an elusive one. I've never been able to question him, but I've found, there we go, that there's something that says that he will appear somewhere and be able to be questioned at some certain point randomly. But I've never been able to do it. It's not necessary to get, you know, you're 100% in the game. Anyway, let's talk to her, because now that we have our last person, let's ask about him.
Well, I do wish they wouldn't let the handyman in during social functions. He's not even dressed properly.
Oh, that's not nice. But yeah, she's with people. They'll be wandering around the museum, and you can talk to them and have the conversation with them then too. But I prefer to do it when they're all in one place and they're not just randomly in certain spots. Anyway, we can now explore more of the museum. We are now in the Masters Gallery, and it looks like got some pretty cool paintings here.
Art is work by Fra Roberto Glisoni, painted in 1492, commissioned by Queen Isabella to keep him busy finding a new way to paint instead of discovering the new world, so that Christopher Columbus could do it instead.
Huh, that's interesting.
When you touch the painting, You smear a bit of the paint as if it's still damp.
Wait, what? These are old paintings. This is like from the... That should be from the 1600s. Why would it be wet? That's interesting. There's also something
A
interesting.
typical light-hearted painting by anonymous Bosch called A Heartwarming Story, depicting dead humans being tormented by skeletons and demons in hell.
But you notice there's a
A
little
typical light-
sparkle. Have to
The oil
actually wait until it sparkles.
paint on the...
No, come on. Yeah, it can be a bit sensitive as to where you can actually click on this. There we go. Haha. And then wait for it to glow again. There's a key in there.
Jeepers! The shiny key on the painting even feels real. Probably because it is. Although you have a natural attraction to shiny objects, this one is firmly attached to the painting and obviously can't be removed by hand.
Darn, we can't get the key at this moment. Let's take a look at it.
This skeleton key is inscribed with eerily articulated markings, the weird orthography of a long-dead tongue. It offers no clue as to what it unlocks. Pandora's box, perhaps?
Oh, I know what it unlocks, but I'm not telling you.
It's an actual skeleton key, glued to the painting as if it's being held by one of the skeletons. That Bosch was a stickler for realism.
Or perhaps it was put there by someone else. Alright, let's keep going. I'm not going to look at everything. It's just going to say more facts about the different paintings.
You hear muffled voices coming through the door to Yvette's office.
Oh, really? Well, that is why I got that water glass, because you can use that to listen in on conversations.
Thank you for coming to see me, Olympia. This is very nice of you.
You're very welcome, my dear. What can I do for you?
Oh, you see, I found this strange bone, and I said to myself, Yvette, if anyone can tell you what this is, it would be Olympia.
A bone, you say? How fascinating. Where did you find it?
I found it right here in the museum. Here it is, Doctor.
Now,
But where in the
let
museum?
me see. Ha ha! Yvette, you silly girl. This is a chicken bone.
It is?
Yes, of course. Why, it is still greasy. You got this at dinner, didn't you?
Oh, you have caught me, Olympia. I was playing the little joke on you.
Oh, okay, I thought.
You are a funny girl, Yvette, but I am quite fond of you.
Olympia, we are the good friends, no? I have the problem I wish to talk to you about.
Oh, certainly. What is it?
Come closer so I can whisper it to you. It is very personal, and I want no one to overhear.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my.
I'm not sure if that's what I think it is, or if she really is telling a secret that's very surprising to Dr. Miklos. We never really find that out. Anyway, going here, this is Dr. Miklos's office. Quite an interesting place, I must say.
The giant lizards are displaying some rather uncivilized behavior.
Alright, I need to actually select the magnifying glass now. Alright.
You decide not to get that close.
Speaking of her dried rat collection,
It's a rat, ready to pounce. Well, he would pounce if he wasn't stuffed.
oh, and it's a snake. That's not a stuffed snake. Alright, let's check this out. For some reason I can't save in this room. Anyway, let's take a look at this.
It's half of the famed Rosetta Stone.
Aha, there's the other half. So you want, very important, you want to take a look at this. Because this will give you the rest of the alphabet. You need the whole thing. And if you look here, you can actually get a something that you can translate on your own if you want, but that'll take too long, so I'll just tell you what it says if I can just find where I put the translation. Hold on. Okay, I have the translation right here. It says, I pay homage to thee, ye lords of eternity. Ra, strong as thy sail in the wind, as the lake of fire in the underworld. Behold Shu, the mother creating the gods in silence from womb. Quicker than greyhounds and fleeter than light. Let me not be burnt, let me not be consumed, let me not perish as my mummy lies prostrate in my tomb. Now, it's not very clear, but there is actually something important to get out of this. Like I said, it's kind of, when the time comes, I'll explain it to you, but that's not going to be for a while. So let's just get out of there. And right here we have snake oil, I believe. I don't know.
The bottle says, Dr. Moribund's guaranteed snake oil.
Alright, let's take it. Or we could be interrupted by Dr. Miklos. And she takes it.
Good evening, Miss Bo.
Oh, you startled me.
Good. It gets the blood flowing, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose so.
I see you were looking at my snake oil.
Well, I was just looking around.
I'm sure you meant no harm.
What's the snake oil for, anyway?
It repels snakes, of course. Comes in handy when I'm working in the basement. I lost a load of Egyptian cobras down there a few weeks ago, and I occasionally come across one of those little darlings.
Uh-oh.
Those snakes always want to bite me, but I'm sure they don't mean anything by it. It's just their way. They get nervous very easily, you know. Normally, I love to watch them kill things. My Barney will kill anything he can sink his teeth into.
Yeah, Barney's the snake up
Charming.
Well, I'd like to chat some more, but I've got to rush off and meet that young Steve fellow. He promised to show me his scars.
Oh
See
dear.
you later.
Well, at least she trusts us alone in her office. She's not all stingy about that. Alright, let's do some more exploring. What the? What's that? Why is the statue's head like that? That's interesting. Anyway, let's not deal with that for now. Let's go into Yvette Delacroix's office. Pretty interesting. Alright, so a couple things you want to do here. Let's take a look around a
It's a
little bit.
diploma with Yvette Delacroix's name on it. An advanced degree in French from Ball State University, to be exact.
So she does have a degree.
Upon close inspection, you see nothing new here.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to look at, but I don't want to like take so much time just looking at things, even though there's some interesting descriptions. I'll try to look more at the important stuff or stuff I feel has a good description.
A paper cutter with a sharp blade. The paper cutter blade looks well maintained and sharp enough to cut through almost anything.
Oh, really? Something to keep in mind. Take a look. And we actually want this light bulb, so what you want to do, click it off, but we can't take it yet because the light bulb is... oh, it's still too hot. But, yeah, okay. So you turn it off. I don't want to do that. Oh well, yeah. Long story short, light bulb's too hot, can't take it now. Okay. Let's see, we can also search her trash can, get some carbon paper.
You pick it up and place it in your purse.
Yeah, back in the day when they had typewriters, they used carbon paper, and how that works exactly, I'm not sure, but oh well.
It's used carbon paper.
Alright.
Feels like glass. There are words typed on the carbon paper, but you can't read them this way.
Darn. Oh, wait a minute, I remember what I'm supposed to do with that. I actually want to turn the lamp back on. And then...
Backlit, you can read the words typed into the carbon paper. Ernie, Big Al called to see if you could do some fencing for him next week. He says he'll make it worth your while to do a fast fencing job.
Whoa, Ernie's a fencer? We barely even met the guy and we already know his secret. A fencer is basically somebody who will buy off or sell off stolen goods. Something around those ends. So apparently Ernie's been doing some stealing and selling off some stolen items. That's not good. And let's see what's over here in this. Oh, wait a minute. I want to remember to turn this back off. Alright. Now let's see what's open here. This is Dr. Carrington's office. Oh, she said you hear muffled voices. I clicked right when things started. Anyway.
Come a little closer, Monsieur Najir. I am wanting to show you something.
And what would that be, Miss Delacroix?
Look at the palm of my hand.
It is a lovely palm, to be sure. But what am I supposed to see?
You see this line, monsieur? It is my love line.
My goodness, Miss Delacroix. It goes all the way up your arm and disappears up your sleeve.
That's creepy.
Would you like to see where it ends up, Ramses? Have you ever been to Paris, Ramses?
No, I can't say I ever have.
Then you have never seen the Eiffel Tower?
No.
Well, by all means, let me show you.
Oh.
Miss Delacroix, please. I'm a married man. Oh, dear.
Have you forgotten who let you into the museum, Ramses? Have you forgotten who showed you the secret room for your little ceremonies?
Little ceremonies?
No, I haven't, but...
Then you will let me give you the grand tour of the tower, no?
We'll have to go somewhere else. I don't feel safe here.
Lead the way, monsieur.
Oh boy. So, what are these, what's the secret room that she's talking about? Ceremonies. Who knows? Well, we're just gonna have to find out that, perhaps, and more next time on Let's Play the Dagger of Amon-Ra. I will also explore this office a little bit, so thank you for watching, and have a good day.